Hello, this is Adele, and today's session we're going to look into the knee. So we will explore the muscles that can help us to support our knees better, especially if we've been told that our knee is going through wear and tear or we're feeling some pain around that area. And also, the second part of the class will be to stretch out the muscles that could affect the knee because they are overly tight. So hopefully this two-pronged attack will help us to re-establish proper gait and proper tracking actions in the knees so that we move around pain-free. Okay, what you will need for today's session is a blanket roller and then 2 blocks. So let's just take a block if you would and sit onto it. Just sitting upright, cross ankles, relax the shoulders. Take a moment and close your eyes, just feeling neutral spine. So the body is always seeking equilibrium and balance. So that's why when one aspect of the body is not functioning well, we feel ourselves thrown off balance both physically and mentally or even emotionally. So what we hope to now is really to take your time to explore this sequence and explore your relationship with the knees patiently so that we can be on the road to recovery or just simply feeling better. So just taking a few moments to feel the tall spine. And affirm to yourself that, taking a small step forward by simply noticing the body or taking time to do some practice or some therapeutic movements will go a long way to help us to recover and feel better. So with that intention in mind and heart, slide your hands to heart center. Let us begin. Namaste. So we're going to start off from the ground. So you take a towel rolled up. Okay, and place it at the back of the knees as you set yourself to lie down. So at the back of the knees, the heels to the ground, the legs comfortably wide. You can use your hands behind you and prop yourself to lie down on your back. So just allow your arms to be comfortable, feeling the back of the knees being supported by the towel roll. Find neutral spine, okay, where you feel that the frontal hip points are pointing directly upwards. You can drag the ribs slightly away from the pelvis, and you can even put a small towel below your back of the head if you need extra support. So first start by just opening the feet comfortably apart, heel to the ground, toes point towards the sky. Manually drive the heel out a little bit, almost like the toes are pointing inwards slightly. So by doing that simply, some of us will already feel the thigh switch on. So let's start by this. We press the thigh down, we press the heels down. And release. Press the thighs down, press the heels down. And release. Where do you feel? Press the thighs down and press the heels down. Release. A few more times. Spreading these two parts down. I'm starting to feel my front of my thighs and my entire leg getting a little bit more active. This can be called quad setting, just starting to wake up the muscles of the upper thigh area, which is key to supporting the knee. So about 2 more rounds, pressing the thighs down, pressing the heels down, release. 1 more time, pressing the thighs down, pressing the heels down. And slowly release. Make sure you're not holding your breath anywhere. Then now start to bend knees, feet on the ground. Okay, take out the towel roll, the blanket roll from below. Then just have your feet comfortably apart. You can take a block and slightly block the medium width in between the knees for more support. So after we woke up the thigh, got more awareness with it. We have our feet about shoulder width apart, the width of the block to match, and then the frontal hip points pointing up. Find neutral spine. So from here, if you have a towel below your head, you can take it out. we're going to start to wake up another muscles that can be crucial in supporting the knees. The back of the thighs as well as the buttock muscle. So slightly squeeze the block. So that you should feel the inner thigh tone as well. Press the feet flat, spreading your toes. Feel the arch of the feet being awakened. Hands just comfortably pressing to the ground. Then we use the inhale to lift up to bridge, exhale to come back down. Okay, until we feel fatigued. Okay, so let's go for it. Inhale, lift up to bridge. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up to bridge. Exhale, lower. Keep the block there. Inhale, lift up. Keep the knee stable with the block. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, stand your feet and lift the butt. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Continue. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Am I feeling fatigue? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue for a little while. Just using the blocks to create stability in the knees. Okay. And when you're fatigued, slowly release down. Good. Then from there, you can remove the block and just open your feet wider than your knees and let your knees knock in constructive rest pose. Just soften things a little bit. Good. Take a little while, maybe windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Imagine a pelvis as a bowl, then you're just rolling the bowl from side to side as your knees go one side and the other. Just to relieve it slightly. So now we wake up the thighs, we wake up the butt, and this will be very helpful. And slowly from there, roll over to one side comfortable for you. Take a little while, press yourself with your top hand and slowly come up to all fours. Your wrists below the shoulders, the hands comfortably wide, maybe more than shoulder width, and tuck your toes under. Feel like you push the heels back and then you might feel a nice little hugging in of your belly towards the back body. Then just stay here. Just create a little support in the abdomen as well. Then let's stretch the right leg back, okay? Spread the toes, tuck the toes, and then your upper body is still stable. You're stretching the right leg now. The back of the right lower leg. And then spreading your toes just to wake up. Good, and drop the knee down, tuck the toes back, and then left leg stretch back, spreading the toes, feel like the heels is going back, while keeping the thighs lifted, the left thigh lifted. Push away from the ground. Every time you feel that you're sloppy, push away from the ground. Good, as a replacement for a plank pose as well. Then slowly drop the knee down. Okay, both toes stay tucked under. This time, okay, the right toe stay tucked. Okay, and sit back a little bit. Maybe take your hands backwards a little bit. And then feel like you are driving the left heel down a little bit more. Punch out your back, stay. If it's too much weight bearing on the knee, then don't go so much. So I'm just feeling my left back of my lower leg stretch out more. Then release. And change, my right leg goes back, I sit into the right heel further. But there's a little bit more weight bearing on your left knee, so if it's too much, then go with the first version. And slowly come back, and from there, let's go onto our belly and take the same towel roll. You can, keep it same same thickness, or you can, just flatten it a little bit and place it below your forehead. Then start to bend your knees, your hands just beside your body. Maybe cactus arms. Okay, and then just same thing, windshield wiper, rolling the thighs across the ground.
And then come to a stop, rotate out your ankles. Rotate in the counter direction. And point flex your feet. Wriggle your toes if you can control the extremities there. And then lay your legs stretched out backwards, 2 straight lines. Good. Let the feet be comfortably apart so the back feels good, the thighs feel flat against the ground. Then from here, we're just going to start to activate the back body a little bit more in a more organized fashion. Okay, so that will go a long way for us to use the support of our back body to help us to walk better. So from here, let's start with the right leg first. Tuck the right toes under. Drive the right heel back until the right thigh lifts. Point the right toes and lift the thigh along with it. Tuck the toes back and drop the knees down. Release. Tuck the right toes. Drive the right heel, lifting the thigh. Point the toes, lift the thigh further if you like. Tuck the toes and soften the knee down. Release. Tuck the right toes, drive the right heel back. Point the toes and lift the thigh. Tuck the toes and drop the knee down. Release. Forming a pattern in the body. Tuck the right toes. Drive the right heel, the knee will lift. Point the right toes, the thigh will lift. Tuck the toes and drop the knees. Release. A few more sets on your own. Just finding that pattern. It's like building a pattern that can go a long way. Okay, now it's a conscious building of a pattern. But when you're walking, you can't be thinking about, okay, right foot forward, how to lift the leg, how to use the back muscles. As we walk, we might go crazy with that. So we do it in a controlled fashion here, where we are quiet, where we are aware. Okay, and then that goes into automatic mode where we are really using the legs for walking. And then let's change your left side. Left toes tuck, drive the heel back, the knee will lift. Point the toes, the thigh will lift. Tuck the toes and drop the knees down. Release. Tuck the left toes, drive the heel back, the knee lifts. Left thigh lift. Tuck it under, drop the knees, release. Tuck the left toes, drive the left heel back. Point the toes and lift the thigh. Tuck it under, drop the knees, release. Then continue on your own. Yes, conscious effort to build a pattern. But this pattern goes a long way. Okay? It's a small effort as compared to really, other things that we may have to sacrifice if we lose the health of our knees. So I would say take this slowly, patiently, and you find that it will be very helpful for you. A few more sets. But if you're feeling fatigued, okay, honor that as well, and then just rest first. I'm going to go for a little while more. See, even I mess up sometimes because I'm talking, okay, and sometimes it distracts myself too. And then release, maybe just for a little trial, I do both feet the same thing. And release, okay, just relax a little bit. Lay prone, take a few moments. Then I'm just going to rest my forearms and my elbows on the ground. Like a Sphinx pose, just to stretch out as I lay my pelvis heavy against the ground. I might like to add in a turn towards my right side. Press down the forearms, come back to center. Turn towards the left side just to stretch out the front of the hip, just so lightly. Come back to center. Take your hands by the sides of your ribs. Push back to force. Then you can slowly sit your weight into your heels, into hero pose, which can be quite tricky if you have knee or ankle tightness. So let's prop our knees, okay, just to be nice to ourselves, and why not? So you can prop the knees, and then you can just put padding below the knees. Okay, and tuck your toes under so you feel like, okay, the thighs are going forward, then the spine are straight. Just
distract, let's use the firmness of the thighs to support us in an upright fashion. Then we'll just distract ourselves a little bit. Not distract ourselves, but rather we just do a little bit of extension in the spine. Bend the elbows, cactus arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. And reaching high. One more time, cactus. And reaching high. Interlace your fingers, place it at the back of the hip, elbow point forward. Tuck your chin towards the chest. And slowly from there, open the elbows and let your head rest in the cradle as you open the elbows and unpeel. And slowly come back forward. Release the hands by the side and sit back down as you lie now prone on your, you lie supine back onto your belly. No, you lie on the side, okay? You can have a little pillow but using the blanket, and then lie on your side with your knees in line with the hips. So I let my arm relax. So my both knees bend almost in line with the hips. My chest is turned forward, my left hip is turned forward. And just bring my left knee behind my right knee into an IT band stretch, stretching my left outer hip and thigh. And just stay in for a little while just to allow the body to be comfortable with releasing. Okay. So some of us might be really tight and we need extra padding below the left knee as it comes down to ground. Some of us are okay. So today it feels alright for me. Some days I'll put a padding below. Good. So give it a little while. You can even pause me so you can stay in, because it's quite a nice stretch towards the outer hip and the outer leg, which if it's too taut, too tight, it's supposed to be taut, okay, but if it's too tight, it can also affect the knee. So that's why we're working on it. So I'd like you to squeeze your leg straight and then just inner, keeping the top hip facing down, just inner rotate the thigh, from the thigh. Just taking the leg as one unit, so you feel like you're turning the toes up to the sky and turning it down. But the action is actually coming from the hip socket here. So it's a very small action. So when you walk, okay, this light rotation of the hip is very natural. It's just that when we sit all day, it becomes so stuck, okay, that these little movements are unable to express itself. Good. Then you come to neutral and lift the feet a little higher than the butt. Okay, you pull it back slightly, keep your body stable. You might not see my foot as I kick forward, but let's try. Let's kick it forward and pull it back. Okay, let's not talk about kick. Swing it forward and back. So it's still stable. Swing it forward and back. Keep the feet at the height of the hip and back, keeping the leg straight. Drive the heel back and back. So you're working with straight leg without weight bearing yet. Good. Let's go a few more rounds. Usually you can do until fatigue. Okay. But different people have different levels. Okay. So some of us might fatigue easily. Some of us might, take a long time to fatigue. Then just pull that back and then stay. For 3, the feet higher than the hip. For 2, neutral feet. For 1, then slowly drop the knees to match, release slightly. Then turn over to the other side. So same thing, okay? Your chest, your left arm outstretched, your chest facing to the right. Okay. Right hip turns down a little bit and the right knee goes behind the left knee. Okay, so if there's a gap, you close up the gap. So you're stretching the outer hip, IT band area. So same thing, take a little while in this posture. Stay as long as you need to.
And when you feel like, okay, maybe after you give it a minute or so, you can stretch the top leg and drive the heel back so that the leg straighten. And then from there, just little movements. You can use your right hand to hold onto your hip to feel the rotation. It's coming from the thigh area, not just the foot. So this leg, okay, you may be feeling more. Okay, it's a rotation at the thigh bone area, hip socket area. A little while more. It's aching a lot, which it is for me. Okay, then you can stop and then keep the heel high in the butt, kick the leg forward and pull it back. To the knees neighbor, forward and back. Forward, keep the leg straight and back. Refrain from rocking your body from side to side. Keep it stable, facing in the same direction. The heel will tend to drop, so keep it high. So same thing is do until fatigue. So now it's like counting for you, and then pull it back and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly drop the knees to match, rest for a while. Then you're going to lie onto your back again. Okay, so you come back to supine, just lie on your back. Okay, you can put the cushion or you can take it away. Just make sure that your chin is not jutting back. We're just getting ourselves into a neutral knee bend position. And we're starting to wake up the inner thigh muscles, which can also be very helpful to help us to track the knee better. So let's get the right heel forward, the right leg straight out, and turn the foot comfortably out slightly. Drive the heel up. Drive the heel up. Then your left leg is stable. Okay, you can even slightly move the left outer edge of the feet outwards a little bit. So stable pelvis, we lift the right leg up like just now and lower down. Imagine it's being held down by a resistance band. Okay, just keeping the leg straight. Good. Imagine you're pulling down against the resistance band that is stuck to the ground. Okay, so you want to prevent it from snapping down. You're slowly controlling the ascent and the descent. Good. Heel forward. Good. And where you feel, you might feel some lower leg muscle. Okay, primarily you feel the inner right thigh. The left side of the body is primarily just stabilizing. So work on the leg that you want to improve more times. Or you can always put on the leg that you want to improve, then go to the second leg and do one more set on the leg that you want to improve. And from there, just release, relax the toes, bend the knees, stay for a little while, relax your lower back, relax your sit, soften the neck, the right foot standing, the outer edge parallel with the sides of the mat, left leg stretch out forward, turn the foot comfortably out for you. Imagine there's a resistance band as you take the leg straight up and down. Take it up to the height where the knees are almost at the same height. And then make sure you breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's continue. So if you are doing it for yourself after you remember the sequence, you can count for yourself. Okay. Maybe 10, 10, and then 10 back on the side that you want to work on more. Drive the heel out, have the leg straight. Good. Feeling at the inner thigh more. So my wish for you is that you remember some of the steps and then take it whenever you need to. But if you want to follow along, you can always follow along with YouTube. Okay, I'm just going to do 2 more rounds. And slowly release. Take the feet knee to bend. Take a little while. You can bend your right knee, forward back of the right knee. And just let the thigh come comfortably towards the belly. And feel free to stretch your left leg out forward. Keep the weight on the big toe side of the foot. Some of us would like to lie on our buttocks on a bolster if you have one. Otherwise, I'm just making do with a stretch like this. Then from there, release, left knee to chest, forward the back of the knee, right leg stretch out forward. And slowly both knees to chest. You can hold the back of the knee, you can gently roll. And then roll over to one side and then take a few breaths there. Always give yourself time to adjust from one position to another. You slowly press your hands against the ground to bring yourself up. So you're sitting, but you're just going to press. Always have a chair handy if you need a chair to help to prop yourself up to standing. So a simple one is to continue to use the same props that you have. I'm going quite a low height, okay, but you can always use a block if you like to. Putting my, I think I can go a little higher, so I'm just going to make a little bit more. Okay, I'm just going to use a block in front of me to help to support. Okay, so I'm folding the towel quite thick. I'm just putting my right foot against it. Okay, so my left foot can be slightly behind or just slot it under the blanket. Okay, and I might feel as my heel go down, my body weight shift towards the forefoot. I feel a little stretch. So I'm going to tip forward from the hip and take my hands to the block and shift the body weight forward. So as I shift my body weight forward, I will feel my back of my right leg. I'm not feeling a lot, so I'm just going to go down more. Yeah, so at this height you feel something. So you don't want to compromise your breath or your back. But the other knee can always bend. Even the standing leg, sometimes I like to bend it. As long as I have good support through my standing, my foot that's on the ground and my hands, okay, I can bend the standing leg and then straighten it alternately. So for those who are very flexible, you can go down to the ground. For those who are not so flexible, your hands can very much be on the chair. So I'm moving around a little bit. So I'm even adjusting my heel. I can be here, I can go more into a forward fold. My left knee can be straight or bent. I lean my weight forward more to my hands. So I really feel the stretch in the back of my calves. And lift the chest, you can bend your knees or use the blocks along with you. Slowly hinge up. So you can stay even much longer. Okay, left foot, right foot can in line or slightly backwards, bend the knees. Okay, you can also try to straighten your legs and go down forward. So it depends on what works better for you to go down. Okay, lean forward more, adjust the height of the blocks to your needs. And then shift your weight forward more. You can bend and straighten the legs a few times. Just take it like a massaging effect rather than a push the knee backwards action. Then you can stay in a straight leg and fold yourself deep into the pose, primarily targeting the calves. Stay in there for as long as you like. It's really, I would say frequency is better than just working on, the duration in one side. one time, one setting. Slowly from there, hands on hips, take yourself up and take yourself off that. You can take a little walk around just to readjust. Okay, so what we've covered, we have wake up the quads, wake up the back of the legs, the butt, the lower back. We have stretched our IT band, we have stretched our calves. So one pose where we can test out is the pyramid pose. So have your blocks handy. On the tall side will be helpful, by both sides of the mat. Okay, I start with my left foot forward and my right foot back. Okay, so my hips are turning forward and I may need a padding at the back of the heel or I may not. Okay, feel like you really put on a nice tight pair of pants so that the thighs feels lifted and supporting the knees. Then my hands on my hips. Okay, then I fold halfway, hinge at the hip, fold halfway. Then when I feel like okay I can, I just reach for the block. And then just go down. Okay, firm my thighs, press the block, and wedge against the middle of the foot for the back leg on the pinky side. I might change the block to a lower height. 2 blocks is better. Okay, or I may use even lower. So I keep my thighs hugging in, fold my thighs, and then I fold down. So my front foot, right, I'm just letting the toes point forward with like less than a big toe width out towards the left side. And I'm feeling the back of the legs, I'm feeling my knees are really, my thighs are lifting so my knees are not being compromised with pain or pushing backwards more. Relaxing my shoulders. And slowly from there, lift my spine halfway, adjust my blocks to come up. I can bend my front leg to help myself to come up easily, and then I change for the second side. Right foot forward, left foot a little out to the left side. Feel like your hips hugging to the center, pointing forward, and your chest lifted. Then from there, hands on hips, hinge forward at the hip. Take the hands onto the blocks or chair. Adjust your left foot as you need to, either angling the foot more up or not. Take an inhale, feel length, and then you can stay upright even like this. So everyone has a different degree of fold. Some of us will be lower. It's a forward fold. You can even go more. Don't feel pressurized to do a lot. Like I'm feeling here, so I may choose to stay here today because I'm more concerned with letting my thighs work properly and the knees tracking to the second, third toe than to say do more and more. A few more breaths, just gentle inhale and exhale that is subtle, that is light. Just give yourself each pose, you can do about 7 rounds of breathing. For very supported poses, you can definitely go longer. Slowly bend the knee, prop the blocks a bit higher, and slowly take yourself up. And then take your foot forward and just give a little walk around, just to feel a sense of your feet, of your knees. Just to give it a little bit more test, stand on one leg and lift the other knee up a few. Just changing, it's like you're walking on the spot. So just let it condition. Good. And then from here, just give yourself a nice good stance in Tadasana, in mountain pose. Feel a lift in the lower belly, relax the shoulders. And then you may close your eyes to give yourself that sense of, the equilibrium that I was talking about. Okay, the head, the chest, the belly, the pelvis, stack over the knees and the ankles.
Okay, just give yourself a good sense of everything, working well together to support your purpose for the class today. Okay, so for the rest of the day, move with more awareness. Use any of these tips as you need to practice them more frequently so that they can go a long way in helping us to recover or to feel better in our own body. Thank you. Thank yourself for your attention, your exploration, and send yourself lots and lots of love to whatever you're feeling, and have a lovely day or evening ahead. Namaste. Thank you.